Next knowledge area is time management. And does Agile require time management? And I'm going to say absolutely. I have never once had a boss come to me and say, Steve, please develop an Agile or iterative project for me. I don't care when it's done. Take your time, relax, have a good time. No. Boss comes to me and says, Steve, you're going to develop a project in an Agile principle, and I need it done in 6 months' time. So I'm going to say, absolutely, we do time management. Again, we're going to do it slightly differently with an Agile approach, but we're going to do it. Boss absolutely expects this is going to be done in 6 months or in, 12 iterations or whatever the appropriate is going to be. Does that mean it has to be done on October the 31st or wherever 6 months from now is going to be? More or less. If we're done a week or two early, great. If we're done a week or two late, great. Is that any different than traditional? I don't think so. We have an expectation. The big difference with Agile is we manage our iterations and we do the most important things first so that when the end of October comes along and we need to call this project closed on time, we've done all of the important, all of the priority 1 and priority 2 stories are done. And there's a few priority 3s and 4s that are still in the backlog, and we're going to say, we're done. We do not have to, let me repeat that, we do not have to have every story done to declare an Agile or iterative project done. Now I'm going to throw a new term that is absolutely Agile based out there, and that's this term called velocity. Velocity is what we use. It's the collective capacity of the team to do work in a 2-week period. So the team collectively can do a velocity of 32 in a 2-week period. And what's 32? Is it the number of days times the number of team members? Absolutely not. It's the collective capacity. Because some of your team members may be seasoned gurus and can do work at 130%. And some of your team may be green beans who are still learning their ways and can do work at 70%. So the velocity is the collective capacity for the team to work together to achieve the results. Now, I don't believe in your PMP exam they're going to get into the details of story points and velocity and this and that, because that's principles of Agile development as opposed to principles of project management. And I believe for your exam, you're going to be well off or okay knowing that velocity is the collective capacity of the team and not go any further. And then we have our sprints or our iterations. We measure our performance. How many things, units, did we complete in this last sprint? We thought we were going to do 32. We got 30 done. Whoops, we're a little under. Why? Did we have problems? Did we have issues? What are we going to do about it? Versus we thought we could do 32 and we did 36. And over time, when we have repeatable statistics that says 32 is not the right number, we're not achieving it, we're going to move it down to 30. Or if 32 is not the right number, we're consistently overachieving, we're going to move it up. And we measure our performance by these things called a burn down chart. We think we can do 32. On day 1, we got nothing done. On day 2, we got nothing done. And why do I say we got nothing done? It doesn't mean the team doesn't work. We only measure our results when a piece of work is done. And typically, most stories are not going to be done in day 1 and day 2. So maybe it's day 3 or day 4 or day 5. We get the first piece of work done and we declare 2 points complete. And then in day 5, we got 4 more done. And on day 6, and we track our results through these burn down charts to determine how well we're performing against capacity. Different terms, different approaches. We're not measuring actual hours and remaining hours as we would do with traditional, but we're measuring actual results, velocity points, or the true term is story points, but we're measuring actual results versus remaining results, and we're tracking them in a burn down chart. Again, exactly the same principles, just different words. And cost management, I'm going to start this one off exactly the same way I started off time management. I have never once in my career had the boss come to me and say, Steve, I'd like you to do a project, and I don't care how much it costs. Just do it. So yeah, absolutely. I believe agile projects have a budget. And yes, absolutely. I believe cost management principles are identical. And I'll say that again, identical in an agile or iterative project as they are in a traditional project. As a matter of fact, most textbooks and most theories on agile management are quiet on cost management because they also assume you're going to follow existing organizational financial management practices consistently on an agile project as you would on a traditional, i.e., very few things happen in business without a focus on costs, and therefore we're going to follow those existing principles in our agile project.